Well, hello there. Greetings. What's up? How's it going? Move all the things. There we go. Right, we're good. We are set. I had to do some bodying things a little bit ago that got interesting. I need to set it up better. This is what I've learned today. But hello. Adult realistic Pokemon Poggers. Ooh, excuse me. You say what? I haven't watched this trailer. I literally just set it up so I can open it full screen and we can watch it together. I have not looked at it yet. Hi there, Yas Queens. How are you? Welcome. So, my Bodyun stuff I had to do today, right, was because Bodyun was running on the other computer, so I had to make sure that the data on the other computer could be shared with this computer. So that, we kept track of all the right things that we're trying to keep track of when we do Bodyun. Which was interesting. Especially since they're slightly different Bodyun versions. The other one doesn't have lights or transparency because it's set up for D&D and I don't need all that running. How is everyone? I'm okay. I'm pretty good. I mean, I've had this headache all day and I still have it like a little bit. I took some medicine not too long ago that has already kicked in. But I still feel it, and it feels almost like foggy-headed, which is not pleasant. But I'm here. How are you, Yas Queens? But yeah, speaking of Pokemon, Eric knows because I've been streaming it to him on Discord when I do it, like random times. But I found this great ROM hack. I actually found it on Twitch from other like Pokemon streamers and like Nuzlockers called Radical Red, and it is really hard, which made it like really fun. It has a ton of quality of life things that are really great, but it made the game very difficult. And I had beaten it normally, so has Eric, right? And it's been great. So try to Nuzlocke it. First try, we had some pretty OP stuff, and then we got screwed over. I think Surge wiped us. Second try, we got wiped by Misty. Third try, most recent one, we got all the way up to we beat Erica with only losing one Pokemon, which is pretty impressive. When I played it normally, I got wiped pretty hard, but we cheated also pretty hard to like get some stuff earlier than we're supposed to, so that we could actually stand a chance. That's a different story. And then my own teammate in one of the team battles, one of the boss battles, it's a team battle with one of the rivals, kills my own Pokemon. And I'm like, dude, come on. Uncool. And I have not started a new Nuzlocke after that since, and I've just been kind of sitting on it. But you're doing good. I was about to get a burger. I'm so weak with my food sometimes. Be strong, Yas Queens. Be strong. Yeah. No, Pokemon's great. I've been on this Pokemon kick, and now I want to make like a Pokemon clone, or like a Pokemon like auto battler, or all kinds of things. And I have too many things in my things to make list. It's obscene. But hello. Yes, today I interact with you because Wednesday was D&D, and my two brain cells can barely keep up with D&D, let alone D&D and chat. So I often miss a lot of things. I try. But it's hard to DM and participate with chat. Yeah. Oh well. I am now caught up. All the VODs are up on YouTube. I need to like actually edit things at some point, especially the D&D sessions. Make the Pokemon game more a necromancy game. You kill things. You kill the things you want to tame. So that was kind of on my list. I had this idea that I ran past a couple people, including Eric, that is more like a magic game where like you tame, or you don't quite tame, you like capture spirits or things, and like I guess necromancy things would be like undead things you could catch once they were killed, right? And it was like you gotta train to be like a wizard, but like all power comes from like spirits in nature, so like you gotta capture things to use their powers, and then like you have to beat the gyms to get the license to use certain like things outside of like duels, right? So like you're not allowed to just walk around with a flamethrower burning stuff down, but once you beat the one gym, you're deemed responsible enough to do so, like that kind of thing. Right, because I hate HMs in Pokemon, and this is coming a lot from our experience with Radical Red, where like one of the quality of life things is you don't have to teach your Pokemon HMs. For those of you who don't play Pokemon, the premise of the game and the way the game works as a like story and progression is as you beat gyms, you start to be able to use what's called hidden machines or HMs that teach your Pokemon a move they can use outside of combat, like cutting down trees or pushing boulders or surfing on the water, right? But you gotta get gym badges in order to be able to do that. But nobody else apparently has ever had that problem in the society, so it's just you, the trainer, who's not allowed to do that. And like when you take a step back, I guess you gotta just suspend that when you play the game, which is fine. But originally, a lot of those moves sucked. They were some of the worst moves you could learn. Don't get me wrong, Surf is a good one. Waterfall is often a good one. Strength is okay. Defog is actually good, like competitively, but not great in normal Pokemon, like the game. So like they were hit or miss. And you couldn't unlearn them. You were just stuck with them. So it was like this extra cost you had to play as you progressed in the game, which wasn't particularly fun. Radical Red makes it so if your Pokemon could learn that move, they can just do it. Which I think is just like a fundamental, like all water Pokemon, you should be able to ride on the water kind of thing, right? So yeah, I was going from that kind of approach. I'm like, yeah, screw all of those. But making a game like that is a ton of work. And, you know, low returns. Please see Temtem, which I think I want to revisit at some point, because I only played it during its alpha and I'm sure it's gained some things. My problem with Temtem still stands of there weren't any of the creatures that I really liked, right? Like I got attached to, which I think is Pokemon's biggest selling point. Right, a ton of there are fans of all of the Pokemon, except maybe Bruxish. I don't think Bruxish has fans. Right? Or like there are fans of types or something. I could not get that attached to things in Temtem. Yeah. But who knows? Who knows? I don't know. It's on my list. I probably won't do anything with that idea for a very long time. But that's because I don't have the time to commit to full game development. I tell you, I love looks at smudge on hand Bruxish. Yeah. It's Bruxish. It's a water psychic type from, I wanna say, Gen 7. That's how little it impacted me. I don't even know the generation. Although 6 and 7, I blur a lot. And it's just like a weird looking fish. Like there are some other fish that are like very forgettable. Like the can't even think of their names. That's how forgettable they are. The Carvana clones, right? Like they're just there. And I mean that happens. Right? Like Finneon. Finneon's pretty forgettable. You do. Oh, I don't like its mouth. I don't like its anything, right? And not like a Dunsparce. I don't like its anything. It's just like, you're ugly. I don't get you. You don't even evolve. Like, there is nothing redeeming I have for this Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. There are some Pokemon that just need to suck. Sure. And do we need lots of fish because there are lots of fish? Yeah. Just like we need lots of bug-type Pokemon. Like lots of caterpillars that turn into things. Sure, I get it. But I have a lot of biases that go into me not liking this Pokemon. Starting with, I like Pokemon that evolve. But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. But yeah. No. I don't know. Hey, what I missed? Sup, Scumber? How's it going? Not much. We've just been kind of chilling, and I've been ranting about very ugly Pokemon for a minute here, and a hard Pokemon game. And how I want to make a game like Pokemon, but it's a lot of work, and I barely finish things for Body when I say I want to do. Yeah, I've got another well, it's not a big programming task coming up on this Monday, but it's a task I need to do on this Monday for programming. It's like, I have not been excited to program. Patreon, you could do Payton, you could do a Patreon or GoFundMe. Oh, I mean, you're right. You're right. The problem then is, like, I still have to deliver. I mean, I guess less so on Patreon. Patreon is like, you just want to support. You could use it like a Kickstarter, sure. Could make a GoFundMe, sure. I was just like, if I'm not excited to do it on my own, I would struggle, like, personally, to do it on that kind of thing. Thank you for the follow, FIFA Bash. It should pop up here. You look like Lester from GTA. Thanks. What about an OnlyFans? Nah, I'm good. Rip Candace, so sad, such a shock. I don't know what you're talking about. Did I miss something? If you don't want to do it alone, you wouldn't do it at all. I mean, that's my problem with, like, there's a lot of things I want to do. You guys know there's a lot of things I want to do, right? Like the horse racing simulation, or fixing body unit. So many things on my to-do list, but I just keep putting new things on it. I'm doing it less like a queue and more like a stack. Technically programming terms, but queue is like first in, first out, right? So the first thing I put in the queue is the first thing that gets done. Whereas stack is like whatever's on top is the first thing that gets pulled off. So you just keep putting things on the top of the stack, and then you take the first thing off the stack. So the first thing you put on is almost never going to get done, or it gets done last. Am I a what, by the way? It's a gentleman? I don't know. I feel like it's similar to Ligma for some reason. Ligma, I mean what, Weaver? But yeah, I have no idea. I am confuzzled. But it is fine. Welcome nonetheless. I'm just ranting. So, if you're new here, like FIFA Bash here, I program stuff and I make my own things, like our lights. You fine. Hey, Morty. Come here often. How are you, my good sir? How are you? This man Morty here is my buddy, my streamy buddy. We got tacos and drinks together this one time. It was great. Nah, Morty's a good dude. I saw you were playing some TFT the other day. I too have lost some LP today on TFT. How you been? I lurk occasionally, but you stream when I work, and I've been busy lately, so I haven't been able to like hang out lately. Doing great, and you? Good. I'm okay. I have a slight headache today, which is driving me crazy, but I'm here. And that's the important. I guess TFT is good stuff, getting sucked back in. I feel that. I'm enjoying the Reckoning set. Some of the shadow items still scare me because I see their downside. Sorry, I got into a TFT rant here for people who don't play. I will end soon. Right? So I don't make the shadow items because I'm afraid of them, and I need to experiment more. But I've just been slamming A-bomb, and it's great. But I have some terrible news to share with you, even worse than my cat. Oh no, Weefy boy. Also, talk of strikes equals instant BFFs. I mean, obviously, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Keep my distance from the shadow items. They're definitely scary. KW. Yes. I mean, I know some of them that are like good to use, right? Like Shadow Blue buff on LeBlanc is a classic that has existed. I like Shadow Ionic Spark on Hecarim, right? Yeah, Shadow Staff of the Immortals, which is every time they cast their spell, they get health and then they slowly regain it. Real good on renewers and people who scale on like percent HP stuff. There's a lot of really interesting ones. Like I've seen Shadow Blue buff and the Shadow Bloodthirster Rise. It just perma insta cast because it gets him to the health threshold where he gets the 50 like mana back, and then he just pops off because he does no physical damage with that. It's crazy. You have unironically become addicted to Raid Shadow Legends? Okay, Weavy boy. Be careful. Careful. I have not really played Raid Shadow Legends. I have no real opinion on the game itself. From what I've seen, I don't think it's necessarily a bad game, right? It's just one of those, like, you want to spend money on the game and you have to resist. Me, myself, I'm a Genshin addict, so I understand your pain with the gacha games. But I also am a god of luck in Genshin, so don't at me. I'm still only missing one character, and Eula is amazing. But yeah, no, I do my Genshin chores every day like a good boy. But yes, rip your wallet. I am sorry, my good sir. I am sorry. I haven't spent any money yet, but I am desiring to spend money so I can be an undead overlord like I always dreamed. Be strong, Weavy boy. Be strong. And by that I mean spend money if you want to spend money. I'm not going to tell you don't spend money, but don't spend money on a free game that you can't afford to spend. Right? And that's the trick with games like that. Is like it's so easy to make a $10 purchase for this points right now to do this thing. And it's like 12 $10 purchases later, you realize you spent $120 on this game, and you're like, I thought this was free. That you must be careful with. Be strong. Generally speaking, when it comes to MTXs, I just sub out the purchases that I make with stuff I generally spend money on. Yes, and that is certainly an approach you can do. Yes. Yeah. If you're like, okay, I'll get like a Taco Bell meal's worth of points and I'll just like make dinner tonight. Not saying I've ever done something like that. Sure, yeah, that is a healthier way to look at it. I do basically whenever I spend money on any games. Hey there, Miss Jawbreaker. How are you? Welcome. Right, whenever I spend money on any games, I figure out how many hours it would take me to make that much money. I'm not an hourly employee technically, but I could generally figure out how much I make an hour, right? And then I cube that. So if it takes me like 3 hours to pay for a game. Miss Jawbreaker, thank you for the Prime sub for 3 months, still going strong. Thank you. Also, I saw your D&D game the other day. I was lurking. I tend to lurk in people who post their stuff in my Discord. I'm just often doing other things and don't always like chat up for a bit. But I was sitting there and watching, and I was, a little confused because I haven't watched all of them. But I do love D&D, and I love the setup you guys have. The 3 torches, nice touch. But yes, spending money on games. So so if it takes me 3 hours to make enough money to pay for the game, right? Then I look at it and I go, okay, will I get 3 cubed hours of fun out of this? So that would be 9, right? And I go, will I get 9 hours of fun out of this game? If I think I can afford 9 hours of fun out of the game, I generally call it worth, and I'm okay spending the money on it. Don't get me wrong, I am in a safe financial position. I have like enough savings that if I were to lose my job for some reason, I could like pay bills and loans and stuff for a couple months while I get a new one, but I have student loans. So I can't, drop that much money ever. You looking for a sugar baby? Looking to be a sugar baby. Oh, Marty, I feel you. For real, though. Student loan sad face. I know. We all want to be sugar babies. Don't we, though? I know, Weaver. It'd be great, right? But yeah. No, so I just like my own personal enjoyment of things, be it video games, movies, web novels, books, whatever, is very important to me. That is a thing I value. And so I don't mind spending money on it. I do, however, try not to spend money I can't afford to spend on things, right? Like in school, when my budget was tighter, I would, not spend money on games as much. Now that I work and I can be like, okay, I can throw a few dollars at this. I will get this much enjoyment out of this game. I can justify it. That's the word. Like I'm straight, and $20, not just $20 when it comes to sex, but I definitely have a price. Well, Weavy Boy, as I've learned, this is important. I have no first-hand experience with this. This is all anecdotal, secondhand information. They don't really want. It's not always a sexual thing. Yeah. Sometimes people just like doing that, and they like just worked. Yesterday, a person blocked me because I told him the man's G-spot isn't he? Okay. Once again, I have no first-hand information, first-hand experience with this. But that's a really a fragile person that blocks you for that. There are a laundry list of reasons outside of sex if someone will be a sugar. Exactly. Yeah. Or sugar mama. I'm not judging. Or sugar envy. That's cool too. You do you. It's a fact. Yeah. I mean, I have heard this for sure. Yes, absolutely. This is the fact. I have no first-hand experience. I'm sorry. But it's true. I've tested. Hey, you do you, my dude. He knows. Yeah, but as I've explained to my stream before, Morty, I am too like boring cis het vanilla for them. Many of them are way more exciting than I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh no. I mean, yeah. I mean, but you can do whatever you want. Also, it's Pride Month, so go crazy with the lights if you guys want. So Morty, if you haven't seen my lights, because I don't know, you haven't like hung out with us for a minute. I have these fun lights that you can play with the lights command. What's some fun lights? Necrotic's a fun pattern. They're eggs currently, but you can change their model too. I have D20s. And you can choose some fun stuff. Yeah, boy. Yeah, Necrotic is Weavy Boy's favorite pattern. It's the one he made. Well, we worked on it together as a stream, but it was Weaver's idea. Mm-hmm. No, Miss Jawbreaker, they are just eggs. One word. Jawbreaker. There you go. There we go. This evolved rapidly. It always does. Right. I promise if I started to write a book with him, if he takes the idea we had and writes a book, I would destroy. Oh dear. Wait, how do these work? So I wrote a custom boy called Bodiun, which actually reminds me, he can start doing some random raffles. Random raffle. Bodiun, I said do a random raffle, please. So, Bodiun, you are making me look bad. I always forget the command. Yeah, I need to update the command. They're in my Discord. The better commands for it. Random chaos. Winning. Welcome. How are you winning? I know I haven't streamed in a while. That's my fault. Where's your VIP? You didn't make it, winning. I'm sorry. VIPs for this month were and currently are Andre the Padre, Sapphire Princess, AC Fire, Yas Queens, and Grace in Your Face. Maybe if you had more plat, just saying. True. So yeah, Morty. Bodiun is my baby, right? I've made Bodiun. He is my custom Twitch bot I have programmed. I am currently working on making him useful to other people. He doesn't work with other people yet. So he runs these lights. He runs the fireworks in chat. You can use channel points to fire off fireworks. Let me do that to show you real fast. Fireworks. Go! Right. And you can be like really sorry, they're channel point redemption, the fireworks. I need to make commands for them. I've turned almost all the commands off because I kept changing them so much. But I was doing the Pokemon Snap stream last month. We had like 3 Pokemon Snap streams. What were you talking about, Winning? Thank you for the posture check, Morty. I have noticed my posture's been awful in the last couple like weeks. Well, we had the Pokemon Snap streams. We had a bunch of D&D things, so I had to check posture. It's a good one. Demand a recount. I'll pull up the numbers for you. No, stop it! Don't play that now. Where was it going? I gotta go find the image, and I can prove it to you. So don't stream. Maybe. This is preposterous. I am sorry. So I'll pull up those numbers and I will tell you. While I'm doing that, I'll continue to pitch Badium. So Badium does like he's an overlay that runs on my computer and just makes a transparent background, like those old like dancing characters for like old Windows, right? He's basically doing that and he just runs the background. But he has all kinds of stuff. So like, do I have plat? I don't. Let's give myself some plat. So Stream Elements is tracking my platinum, but I can roulette 50% of my platinum on the number 7. Oh, thank you, Eric. If I win, this is going to shatter our monthly records. It's gonna destroy it. I'll have to fix it later, but it's fine. And this is a roulette wheel that is spinning, and other people can get on the same ball before it drops, and then it will pay out everybody who put bets on it. Now that Pokemon Snap music box song stuck in my head from all the hours watching. It was a great time. It was. Where is May 2021 points? Okay. Winning, you had 1,230 platinum. You were 17th total. Oh, it's a 5. I should have put it in a basket. It's fine. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people ahead of you that put you in 8th last month at the end of the month. So if you are new here, or for Morty, I do 5 rotating VIP slots at the end of every month. Whoever's at the top of them, which you can find out with the VIP command, who are not permanent VIPs, are eligible to earn VIP for the next month. So there are 5 rotating slots that Winning is upset that he did not earn. Which is because I did not stream a lot last month because I was both busy, not feeling well. Like things just line up well for me streaming wise. How will I go on my life without a payday and VIP? I'm sorry. You could earn one this month. I think it's the D&D streams that you missed, Winning. There's a lot of gambling and random raffles that go on during the D&D streams as well. But yeah, so Badium does a bunch of random stuff back here, and it's great. It's fun. It's a good time. He is my boy. He also records chat so I can impersonate people with chat. Also a good time. It's all around a good time. Okay. I really mean that, Payday? I really mean what? Wait, what did I say? We did. You could earn VIP this month. I haven't planned any more perma VIP stuff. Hello, Iagra. How are you? I haven't planned any more perma VIP plans yet, but you could earn your VIP spot this month in the 5 of them. There will be more D&D. We have back-to-back D&D weeks at the end of the month. Sasageo! Yes! And then I have like these custom audio commands that scale based on the number of participants in it. I will grow this Sasageo as well. Can make your D&D Wednesday streams. I'm working on it. I'm sorry, Winning. But that is definitely a source of platinum a lot of the time. There are random raffles running today, so you could earn there. There's just a lot of people gamble a lot on those nights, and that's how we get some of the crazier numbers. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There'll be plenty of other platinum chances. Like tomorrow, my current plan for tomorrow is to probably work on the Gundam that I want to build because I like doing that and chilling on a Sunday. I just have no idea what I want to do today. Right. Put the Sam lights on. because I don't know. I've just had a headache, so I was like, I don't want to run Jackbox games today, but I'll hang and we'll do something. We have not done Jackbox in a minute. We did it in the beginning of May. I feel like the Jackbox is March feels like. It may feel like that, but it's not true. I have not been feeling Jackbox. Which is, it happens. I have to want to run a bunch of Jackbox games for hours if I want to run Jackbox. We need Jackbox. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks. When the new one releases the Jackbox for 100%. I just Jackboxed myself out, right? Because I mean, I've given this rant before, right? But you got to remember, like, every time we do Jackbox, and you guys are like, oh, but I didn't play the 3 last times we did Jackbox. I did. Right? The only constant with all of the Jackbox is me. Ugh. Good old posture check. So, like, I burn out of Jackbox well before you guys do. Which is probably for the better. And you think of new memes to join Dental Kirby? But do you? Do you really? Why? Why do you do this to me? Oh, but yeah, the posture. When I've been playing all those like Pokemon ROM hacks, I was like killing my posture because I kept like leaning and slouching to like this one side because that's where, you know, my keys were. That's not good. Necrodad's a fat skeleton. We need a new Jackbox game. Hey, I'm usually here for all Jackbox. Most of the time, yeah. But I am here for all Jackbox. Maybe we should play a weird dating game. I don't like dating games. I don't know. What's another cool game? I mean, there are tons of cool games, right? There are tons of things I could play. I don't love playing RPGs on stream because I've gone over this before. It's just because like I then want to play it off stream. And between work and other stuff, I can't play enough to do that. Play Super Studios on stream? No, thanks. I like really do not enjoy dating games. Playing Mass Effect. Ooh, nice. I love Mass Effect. Thought you loved Monster Taking Monster? I don't. I really don't. It's on my low end of games I enjoy. I do still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I do still enjoy it. But like, I would rather be in the audience most of the time. Get a pet chameleon, that's fun. Play an MMO. We could play an MMO. My brother has been getting back into Guild Wars 2. And I do love Guild Wars 2. I have high I have high hopes for some of the MMOs that are like planning to come out, like New World. But after a lot of the stuff I've seen about them and the walkbacks and some original designs, I have lowered my expectations. I'm sorry, Miss Jawbreaker. Sorry. You're a mean bitch in the game. Gyro. Nice. 527 integrate releases next week. Ooh, nice. E3 is next weekend. I will probably be watching while I do other stuff. TF2 is always on the table, just saying. But if I was going to play like TF2, I'd probably play Valorant. Just because I have more friends who play Valorant. And would be able to get a team of 5 together pretty quickly. I don't know. We've been over this. I'm not a FPS player to start. I've never been a huge fan of TF2 for multitudes of reasons. Mostly I don't really like FPS games all that much. But it's fine. It's fine. Game 2 now. Nice. Game 2 is where it really picks up. I started doing Mass Effect 1 and I got a little while into it. I'm like, yeah, this is better with the nostalgia filter. The first game's a little rough at some points and a little slow to get going. Whereas the second game really picks up. And that's where a lot of people's love for the series comes from. They just released a remake of Final Fantasy VII. So Final Fantasy VII remake has been out for a while. They released a remake for the second stuff of it. If you're waiting for a few MMOs with orcs, they might not be as sexy as ESL orcs, but I would like to see their stories. Fair. Don't I play that one FPS? I mean, kind of, not really. I play some Valorant with friends. I haven't played Valorant in, I don't know, maybe a month. What about Mario Kart stream with viewers? I mean, possibly. Possibly. It just feels like I have to like set stuff. Like I have to organize things. Mario Kart could be fun though. Mario Kart could be doable. I do like Mario Kart. I'd have to brush up on my Mario Karting. Ah! I clicked on the other window. I didn't mean to click on the other window yet. We will watch the trailer Eric sent us, though. We'll do that in a moment. Yeah. I was like, would you play with your hot friends? See another news Mario Kart 9 next week for holiday release. Rumors Nintendo. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Trailer for what? What is this called? Pal World. It's a brand new multiplayer open world survival crafting game where you can befriend and collect mysterious creatures called Pal in a vast world. One of my mods and friends sent it to me to check out. Here, we can watch. We can watch. I have not seen it yet, so I don't really know what it is, but we can watch it. Let's go full screen. There we go. I said Twitch full screen. Now stay. Good OBS. OBS, please. Come on. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing the window. Have I heard of Palia? Yes, I've already signed up for the alpha. Palia looks like a lot of fun. I think it'd be a good time. I should the volume of this real fast. But yeah, so if you haven't seen Palia, I'll find Palia for you guys after this one. This is what Eric wanted us to check out. Cut the music. Let's see this trailer real fast. There's Pokemon. No, this is not Pokemon, but I mean, it seems similar. Okay, flying on things. Wait, did she just glide down on a creature with a machine, like with a submachine gun? And are those penguins with hard hats passing materials up to go to house? Nutty? Oh, stop. I'm a big fan of how the monsters are fighting, and she's just like submachine gun. Was that monster crossbreeding? You just use this thing as a freaking shield? And did she just RPG a church? Was that a monster assembly line making ARs? Oh my god, this looks hilarious. Oh, hell no, they use the sheep shield. So yeah, this is Pal World. Eric's on this to me. Pokemon ripoff. Not everything that has monsters is a Pokemon ripoff, Miss Jawbreaker. That's an unfortunate generalization. It's too much like Pokemon not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Because you have creatures you can tame. Nah, crossbreeding, what the fuck? I'm out sold. This game called System. Pal World, it's Steam. They look like Pokemon. I mean, it has a very anime aesthetic, so yes. Which I like that they seem to have more character to them than some of the Temtems did, which was one of my problems with Temtem. Or one of the things I just never came back to Temtem on. I like the riding a mount is cool. Running a flying mount is cool. Pokemon as ARs and utilize your critters as body shows Pokemon has definitely changed. Yeah, look at this. She's just like holding on to some eagle looking thing, flying down with a machine gun. She's got like a Uzi. She's just letting into that. Oh, pet the doggo. Gotta pet the doggo. Look how much she loves the sheep here. Can we find the picture? No, there's no picture for which she holds it up as a shield. A cage of penguins. This is like a Pokemon where IRL, yes, this is exactly what it'd be like. Jimmy! Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? How you doing? Pokemon has definitely changed. Like at least. Oh, it's so cute. So cute and lovable. Yeah, and then there's an assembly line of sad little squirrel creatures making like assault rifles. This is amazing. I will probably check this game out for the pure, like, ridiculous factor of it. I'm sure I'm making a Valorant montage by this guy. Nice, nice. I feel I can't edit anything. So best of luck. Getting my time at Porsche. Nice. I have enjoyed my time at Porsche. Not till 2021, my life will already be sold to New World. I am very sad about a lot of New World stuff. I was really into some of their early why isn't this showing up there? One moment here. Why are you not appearing where you're supposed to appear? Okay. Remake the window capture. That's how we fix this. There it is. Problem solved. Your life will always be sold in New World. Yeah, so my problem that's like I've arrived with New World is I liked a lot of their early promises that have been like walked back. I was a big fan of like death penalties, and they took out a lot of that from what I understand. And I need to see the end game more. I need to know more about like post-game stuff. Sheep hugging cute. Yes, behold the duality of man. Sheep shield. Yes, yes. They have to perfect the sheep shield cold. Yeah, it could take a while. Been waiting for a game like 4 years. It came out this year. It's too expensive now. Oh no! See the new Jeopardy game, Banian? It's like Jackbox where it uses phones to play like Jackbox. Oh, that's fun. I think that is a good innovation in both couch co-op and like digital gaming. Right, where you can do like the phone as a controller method. That thing's all right. King, I gotta hit the lurk. Already out with the homies. Have fun, Morty. Have fun. I'll be here doing random stuff. You go do you. Thanks for swinging by. I'll say things when I lurk in your stream next time. I usually like I pull it up. I'm like, I have a meeting. Lurk mode. I do that too much. I know I should like say hi. I just never do because then I feel like I need to sit there and chat longer. But I like to support friends, so I'm always lurking somewhere. Yeah. I do that all the time. Like I feel like I should participate in the Discords that I'm in more, but I'm like, but they're all having a conversation and they all know each other, and I would just be in the way. And I know that is not true, but like social anxiety brains like stop it. But you go have fun. We'll be here. I'll swing by. It's always a good time. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Straight drinking crack barrels. Weavy boy. Talk to you later. Get you later, Morty. Called Jeopardy Play, I think. That's fun. That's interesting. Whatever. I know, Mr. Like, I know that, right? Like, brain knows that. Brain sometimes still disagrees. It's just like if I like am join a Discord and like have never talked to the Discord or like not talked to the Discord for a long time or something, I'm like, maybe I'm just like I don't need a response. I don't need to talk. I don't need to bother the conversation. And I know that is not true. And I try to tell my brain that's not true. My brain is stupid. You're right, Miss Jawbreaker. Your computer deceased after you posted your last comment. After you posted your last comment, I was concerned for your health as you are drinking Cracker Barrel syrup. And yes, 90 fireworks are on the list. They're on the list of things I want to do, but I was working on that the other day and was having a really hard time trying to get that code to work nicely. Although I have a bunch of friends who have set up a Minecraft server recently, so we'll have to play on there at some point. It's not an open server, but a bunch of people have been playing together, so maybe we'll play on it there and I'll stream playing on it at some point. I'd want to like clear it with them and make sure they were cool with that before I did it though. You're on your second tiny bottle of syrup. Weaver! Drinking syrup's not healthy. Thursday here in the UK, we will have a solar eclipse. Ooh, fun. You can take cool pictures now. Don't hurt yourself looking at things. It's okay. I got you. I don't talk because most people don't like me anyway. Oh, Miss Jumper, that's not true. We like you. But I feel that. I'll wear sunglasses. Yeah, like a cool guy. Oh, that's one of the other things I want to do. I haven't installed on my Google Chrome. I need to get it set up for Chatterino. I think there's a way to do it so that I can have it running over here. There is a browser extension you can get that for Twitch chat will let you put your pronouns there. So when you chat, your pronouns pop up. And I think that's super useful. Right? Because I hate misgendering people on Twitch because I don't know you personally, right? And many of you I've told me, or I have intuited some way, shape, or form, right? How you identify. And I try my best. But I feel really bad when I misgender somebody because I just assume people are dudes. This dude being the masculine, not the gender neutral dude. Oh hey, a raffle! Look at that. Right. But that's just how my brain works. I just assume everybody who I'm talking to is me. When I also know that's not true. So as soon as you tell me, I've got it. But it's useful to see it. Right after you said drinking syrup isn't healthy, my stomach started hurting. I was like, oh shit. Then I realized I hadn't eaten in a while. I mean, that would do it. That would do it too. I've realized a lot of my just head and stomach problems more recently had been a consumption of low protein things or just carbohydrates and crap, right? So I ended up getting protein bars the other day. So when I start having bad headaches and things, I eat a protein bar and it usually starts to help. You have to set the add-on to both see and set. I think just having the add-on sees it. You have to go to their their web page to set yours. Thank you, Iagra. Thank you. I found it the other day. Let me share it with you guys. Let me see. Did I send it to my friend? I think I sent it to my friend. So it's faster if I pull it out from the conversation I had with her. Because we were talking about this the other day as well. We were trying to find constructive ways to integrate that into stream things. Right? Because I want to be inclusive, right? Of course. But I don't want to force it on people. No, Weaver! It's okay. Masturbation can fix that. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes there are chemicals released during such processes that can indeed help alleviate some stuff like that. The headache usually comes back after a bit for me. Yeah, well, it alleviates the symptoms. It's like taking medicine, right? If you're not fixing the root cause, you're only treating symptoms. Here, it is pronouns. And then if you put the Chrome extension on, you can see anybody who has them set. And they have a bunch of options which are fun. Let me pull it up so I can actually see. Because my usual Twitch chat feed isn't showing like doesn't have my browser extension because it's not in Chrome. I don't usually use Chrome for my chat because then I have to have less things to open. Also, yeah, having a headache since 9 is not pleasant. I am sorry. But yes. Now I have it open, so I'd be able to see if other people had them. I mean, that's fine with Shopbreaker. Nobody has to go and do that. I was just like putting it out there that I may try to actually integrate that at some point more properly. I have heard that the developer who did this is open to like interfacing things, right? Ooh, I'm on the TV. Hello, Miss Jawbreaker's room. I am on the TV, right? But yeah, I've heard the developer is really open about interfacing with things, which means I could theoretically like get data to Bodyune from it, which could be useful. I had an idea before that would be like letting you guys submit data to Bodyune, right? But having it just pop up in like the chat box is super useful because you can see it next to somebody's name, right? Like you see he, him next to Padian if you have the browser extension installed and you're looking at Twitch chat in the browser of which it's installed. I just have to get that interface into the stuff I want to do. But yeah, it's just one of those little things that's just super useful. Super useful. I saw it from one of the like hundreds of YouTubers I follow on Twitter. And they were talking about inclusivity in their community. And I'm like, yes. I like me some inclusivity as a boring cis het guy. But it also just helps because I feel really bad when I like misgender people. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot easier to do that online than it is to do it in person, but you can still do it in person. Right? Especially if it's not like obvious. And sometimes it's not. And sometimes that's just because they don't identify as like a distinct like identity. Is that the correct noun that I'm looking for? Right? I think so. Or a gender, I guess. Right? We've got our NBs. Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Easiest way is just to use their name. But I've run into this before, right? I actually ran into this at school. School being university. Right. We were doing one of my classes, we were building a VR like game. Right. We had a bunch of people coming in to test it. And we were filming. We were like filming the people who were testing it. And I was talking, like a group of people had come in, and I was talking to one of them about the people who were like the person who was testing. And I did not know their names. So I like was offering something like, would she like this or this? It might be more comfortable to use this if it's her first time in VR. And the friend was like, it's him, and like real aggressive about it. And they were transitioning, and it was not super clearly obvious to me, and I was moving very quickly. And him at the time, the person in question, right, was very polite about it. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Not a problem. I got it now. I'm like, it's just my stupid lizard brain, right, that just judges people on just simple outward appearance when I'm like moving quickly. And I'm like, that is entirely my fault. I did not ask. Although, don't get me wrong, the one friend was a jerk about it. And the dude in question, dude again now in the masculine sense, was super nice, super chill about it. But yeah. And that, you could just ask, like, if you don't know, ask. That is what I learned, especially from that, like, interaction. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I had known that you could just ask. But, like, I'd also been raised my entire life that, like, it was safe to assume. Which, sometimes it is, but I'm not saying that's correct. All the different genders make me confused, so I use their name. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, using names is the easiest way to do it. Using a very vague they will work as well, right? Most people will not be offended by using the usually non-accurate they, while some like non-binary people do use they, them as pronouns, or I believe z, zim, right, are the ones that they often use as well. Again, boring cishet. I just try to make sure I don't call people what they don't want to be called. So I try my best to learn, but there's a lot. So all you have to do is tell me what you want. I've always defaulted they, them, even before I learned about non-binary. Yes, I use they, them if I don't know. But sometimes monkey lizard brain up here is like, look like girl, must be girl, like is girl, use feminine. Like, just that's just how I was taught how English works. Right? Because they, them is technically plural. And my brain doesn't always want to plug that in. But if that's how you identify, all you got to do is tell me, and I will correct it. So I have, after that encounter, because I was incredibly embarrassed doing that, right? I use they, them more if I am unsure. You will catch me on Twitch using he or she, depending on your username, because my brain is just like not processing it. But yeah. I get confused with them, something I'm more than one person. Yes. Technically, yes, that is how English works. But that is changing. Like, the English language evolves, and it is changing. That they, them is becoming more proper to use in place of the singular pronouns. And what is sim, sam, you said? Never heard of that. Wait, what? Wait, what did we miss? Oh, zim. Let me make sure I'm typing in the right window. It's zim in place of he, him, or she, her. That's, I believe, a non-binary pronouns that are used. Again, somebody who would actually be a non-binary could feel free to correct me. I've also seen the X version as well. I don't know if there's a difference. You've always been really good about using our preferred identifiers, especially orcas identifiers, which, by the way, I very much appreciate. I try. I figure if you are putting the effort out to tell me, right, how you want to identify and be identified, I should put the effort to make sure I identify you appropriately. Is it an English thing? I mean, quite possibly, probably, because he, him is English, right? I know other languages just use pronouns differently, right? Like some languages might not have masculine, feminine pronouns, and that's not a problem, right? So yeah, I believe it's an English thing, or English originated thing. Yes. You want to see a wide variety play read-only memories? I mean, there are tons. There are tons of pronouns. All you gotta do is tell me what you want to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tell me what you would like to be called politely. Right? But you guys know I don't like people who are dicks here for any reason. You can be, right? You could be a non-binary dick. That is a thing you can do. I only know, I mean, I could count the number of non-binary people I know on like my one hand. I think I know 4 of them who have told me they identify as such. They're all wonderful, nice people. But that's just my small world, though. Fucking call me mistress. No, that would be a role and not your pronoun, so no. The game asks you which pronouns you prefer is used part of settings on the character. That's great. One of the mech games that I was playing not too long, or that I was trying not too long ago. Let me find it real fast. God, what are you called? I can't think of the name right now. And rolling through all this is gonna be a gigantic pain in the butt. Never mind. Needless to say, it let you pick from a ton of different pronouns. And by a ton, I think there were like 5 sets. But like your he, him, she, her, they, them, right? And then a couple others that I don't remember off the top of my head. And then you could match whatever like face and voice you wanted. Which, like, don't get me wrong, really simple to do programmatically, to not like link faces and voices to genders. And I'm like, I am sure that small inclusion made a non-zero number of people's day. And I think that's the simplest thing, right? We don't need to link things to gender, especially in like video game worlds or game worlds in just in general, right? Those we know aren't trans. I think I personally know 2 non-binary people, both streamers. I know more trans people than I know non-binary people. Yes, or at least people who have told me they identify as such, right? I mean, I don't. You guys know me. I try not to pry. The Sims are good with. Yes, the Sims are good with that. The Sims are pretty good about not linking things to gender as well. But yeah. Yep. I try not to pry. If they tell me, cool, yeah. Right, pry, but we volunteer all our uncomfortable details. I mean, there are definitely people like that, yes. But also, I mean, at least in this community, most people volunteer their uncomfortable details because they know it's a safe place to volunteer their uncomfortable details. Which I appreciate that you guys feel that way. You could make any sim have a baby or make babies. I've also seen some mods that do some crazy things. I'm probably one of them. I'm trying to be better about oversharing. I mean, you are. But there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong. I feel safe here. Let me post Weaver. While I appreciate that you feel that safe way here, that goes against too many terms of services. So, DM. I'm just kidding. Don't. That is not an invitation. Do not do anything like the such. That's a blanket statement for all of you. I was joking. Entirely joking. But yes, yeah. No, I'm good. The best I can do is I can accept beard progress pics when you want to talk about that. Best I'll take. But no, I'm good. And I like learning about you guys. I like being able to engage with you guys in that way, but also if you want to stay completely anonymous on the other side of the internet, also totally okay. Totally fine. Okay, beards, get you go. God, you shut up, Iakra. I meant as a friend. We have talked about this line in a constructive manner. I only say that because the one time we were talking about beards, Iakra sent me a progress pic. And like, that is fine. That is perfectly acceptable behavior. Did I want to trim so it's a phase no one where I want? Ah, yep, gotcha. This needs to be trimmed back soon. I know you love beards, Miss Jawbreaker. I know that. No. But yeah. Okay, this game Eric post is really interesting though. No. Of any kind of body? What? I don't know. That's in reference to. I don't know. My brain has been like, well, one. My headache has just been like foggy headed, like headache today. So I just keep forgetting what I'm saying. Like Gabe, you said you were gonna post. Game I said I was gonna post. Oh, Palia. Yeah, let me find it. Let me grab it. Yes, you are correct. I think it's just Palia.com. Here we go. Progress pic of any. No, I don't want progress pics of any kind of body hair. No. Here, I'll pull Palia up on Firefox so I can show you guys. I'll go back here. Yeah, it is a like a community simulator, like MMO, which seems really fascinating. Right? It looks like a lot of fun. Looks like it has a cool aesthetic that I can get behind. Looks like there's a lot of things to do, which is really fun as well. So I'm in. I've been on an arc craving soon. Wasn't this a Kickstarter? I think it was. It's going into alpha soon. But will it have orcs? I didn't see any orc characters. I don't see a ton of information yet. Here. We'll watch this. We'll watch the trailer. I don't remember seeing orcs, but we'll see. Yes, I ought to play as a human or an elf. My aesthetical senses tend to lean towards like the regal elegance that we see. But yeah. I also like magic. And swords. And magic swords. Or can do magic swords and elves. Oh no, they definitely can, but just in traditional media, it's usually an elf thing. So I tend to lean towards those kind of like elves that are doing that. Takes a bit to do the elegance thing. That's fair. But yeah, it gave me like my time at Portia Stardewy vibes. But there's some like exploration, and it's an MMO, which makes me very interested. Because that means we can all have houses together. Mm-hmm. You can go out like exploring together, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I signed up for the alpha. Can you make babies? I don't think so. I would not. I would expect no to be the answer to that, but I'm not sure. It's gonna be. I'll put a whole new meaning to. Can I put my bed next to yours? Oh, Weavy boy. Oh, Weavy boy. But yeah, probably. I love Kickstarters, though I can't afford to back them. I also love Kickstarters. I'm backing a couple currently. I mean, one is just dice. One is MCDM's Kingdoms and Warfare, D&D supplement book. And one is the Coral Island games. Send link again, please. Sure. Oh, it's Polya.com. But yes, no, don't get me wrong. Orcs can definitely do magic swords and can do elegance. But most of the time, the orc culture is not that of high magic, regal elegance. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that's just the zeitgeist, right, of orcs. But doesn't mean I don't like orcs. I played a half orc in multiple things. I can't say I like the WoW orc. I mean, I don't like a lot of WoW's art direction anyway. The pauldron's bigger than my head is not really my thing. But yeah, no, nothing wrong with it. I just tend to be human, elf, half elf every now and then. WoW's not an art style I super dig, but I know where I know there are those who do it. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm not saying WoW art style is bad, right? I'm just saying it's not for me. I'm a big fan of Guild Wars' art style. ESO's art style is also good. For me. Right. ESO's my current champions for art style. Fair. Big, proportionally beefy. That's what I like to see. There you go. There are no orcs in Guild Wars. Yep. They have furrier alternatives. But I like the Sylvari. I like the plant people. I mostly plant people and humans in Guild Wars too. But yeah. I'm a fan of anything with undead and necromancy. I know I meme it a lot, but there isn't a lot of stuff that actually allows me to embrace the aesthetic in my character. I agree. I know why that is usually, and it's just because summon class in general tends to run a lot of game design mechanic problems, and we don't get a lot of good answers to that make that fun. Like even Guild Wars 2's Necromancer doesn't give me the real Necromancer vibe I want, right? It's basically just a summoner class. Or don't get me wrong, Necromancer is a summoner class, but you want to be like revive the corpse of things you killed, right? That's what I want with Necromancer. I want a battle to shift in my favor the longer it goes, because the more things have died me, the more things in my team. I also have not played ESO's Necromancer class at all. What do you think of D&D orcs? I mean, Wizards has come out with posts about how like they've gotten rid of the traditional D&D orc as a monster, like an evil monster stereotyping, to more like cultural options. I think that D&D orcs as a monster are fine, right? I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong of having like D&D orcs as a monster. I think it is a unimaginative take to have D&D orcs as, yes, what Iagra is saying, dumb, evil, bloodthirsty monsters as a culture. But I just feel like you could do a lot more with it. I mean, I say that, but like in my D&D world, goblins are like evil, bloodthirsty monsters, but that's also partially because they're like formed by like resentment and like evil emotions and like thoughts, and they literally form out of that. Some of them have formed societies, but they don't usually form societies. But that's also just because I need an excuse for why goblins pop up with monsters everywhere. So I made them more like magical creatures. But yeah. I think you can definitely be more creative with D&D orcs. Traditional D&D orcs, at least. But at the same time, I get it. Because I missed it. Missed what? The D&D orc rant we went on? Or the raffle? I'm sorry. Tell me, say an orc lord that is, "Blah, me dumb orc, I stab you now because I not have more than 2 brain cells. It's just how killing things makes me feel inside that pants." Or something inane like that. It makes me cry inside. I'm sorry. It's alright, so you can make them smart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Wizards did address that. They were like, you can have smart orcs. Yeah, of course you can. All of the more recent supplemental materials all have the new technically optional ruling still for 5th edition, but the ruling where it's like you can assign your ability scores from your race wherever you want. They do not have to go in the predefined ones. Different cultures value things differently, and that's how you get that. Right. Yeah, you can make them smart. The problem is not many do. Yes, the traditional D&D orc like stat block does not lend itself to being smart. Is the issue there that I think you get to. Playing a dumb barb is still fun. Okay, man, playing a dumb barb is still fun, but not all orcs need to be dumb barbarians, right? And that's where we got to, because you can have a dumb beefy elf or like barbarian. You could do that. It's easier now with the stat distribution updates, but yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do. Clear. Close some of these windows I don't need opened. I know, just the only class I have chosen to be dumb in. I think it's just really easy to play in that stereotype for dumb barbarian, which I wear is fun. It's fun. Essentially an ancient honorable society of learning and wisdom. However, they become warlike after the society was destroyed, so they could one day take back their land, and this time around properly protected from those that would fear them. Orcs. Fun. I like it. Yeah, 3rd edition at 3.5. If you were a half orc, you were statistically screwed because you got a -4 total points for your +2 strength. Yep. And there are a couple monstrous races in 5th edition that take some minuses here and there. And sure, I personally like a give and take with stats, because I personally like not having like characters that just have like 13 plus in all stats. I like having weakness in characters personally. Does that mean everybody likes that? No. Does that mean that that's the way it should be designed? No. Is that just me? Yeah. Burnham have got rolling. Take a page from Native American, how they're being pushed back from their land because humans are ambitious and also assholes, kinda. Perfectly fair. Perfectly fair. My Orcish society, we've talked about before, is like Roman Empire. So don't get me wrong, they are definitely assholes to a lot of people. But there's a lot more culture going on there than just our war for orcs. But yeah. Close these windows, I don't need them. There we are. That's better, that's better. I need to find some more games that I want to like play more of. I never play human or men in games if I can choose. I very rarely play not male in like role-playing games. I mean, that just, for one, I identify as a male, so that's just easiest for me to do. Mostly, I just never feel like I could do the voice for it, which always puts me off from things. But yeah, that's fine. You don't have to play something you're not. That's not a rule. But yeah. Made some humans when I was like 10, 11, but never playing man. That's fair. I have a handful of human characters. Sometimes like it works. I mean, a lot of times when I'm playing a human, I'm playing like a human noble because there's like a noble society that are human. So it works. Yeah, having a reason to expand and conquer besides raw me like to bathe in blood. It makes me smell pretty. It's good to see. Logistics, sector, tactics. Orcs are supposed to be masters of warfare. They should have better tactics than Zerging. True. Although I would argue that the Mongols proved that Zerging works really well when you just apply some really basic tactics to it. That's my things I started. No man, because it was so uncommon back in my day. I mean, hey, yeah, you do you. You can set whatever rules on yourself you want. It's, as always, it becomes when you impose your rules on other people that it becomes a problem. I mean, that's just the thing about like just society, right? I mean, Zerging's hard to beat, but some finesse would be nice to see too. That is true. That is true and perfectly fair. But yeah, I was seeing some of the new Ark stuff that's coming out with like the flying platypus. I was wanting to play Ark again, but I also don't feel like installing 300 gigabytes of Ark again. So we'll see what I'm doing game-wise. I mean, I've been playing a bunch of Magic. I have a couple fun Magic decks. So I've been doing some of that. Been playing some TFT. TFT is fun. Although I lost all my TFT games today. I only played 2, then I gave up because I was losing. Question is, why did you uninstall it? So, because it's a multiplayer survival game, and I play too much of it, and then I get burnt out on those games, just like Minecraft, where like I reach an end game and I'm like, cool, I don't have anything else to do now. And then I uninstall it because it takes up a lot of space, so I can install more things. New TFT sucks if you mean it, lol. I really like new TFT. TFT, I like Reckoning a good bit. It's not my favorite set, but I think it's a really well put together set. Speaking of human characters, or at least human hybrids, I have the delicate, non-binary, non-gendered Asimar of Ilmater that I had back in my 3 days. I like the concept, but never got to go much with them. Fun. I mean, that fits really well because, like, traditional angels are creepy, weirdly non-binary things. Too much choices? Nah. Nah. You just gotta play what you get. Just gotta play what you get. I think it is a easier to balance, more cohesive set currently than the last set, especially with Chosen, where Chosen locked you in a lot of the time, or it like required you to be chosen. Do you mean LO TFT? Yes, I do. Yeah. I'm platinum every season whenever I play my like placement games, and then like 3 more. I think I got the plat in like 6 games this season, and then I stopped playing rank because I didn't want to drop out. I liked Chosen as a mechanic, but Chosen was restrictive in some of the ways it worked out. It's like the top comps that people would like hard force, and then you'd have to get a Chosen to make it work or something. Became minorly problematic for overall systems. I like the flexibility in Reckoning a little more. I like some of the shadow items. I think some of the interface changes they're working on is getting better. Green spatulas, like your shadow spat. Shadow spat's fun. I only use shadow spat to make a bomb right now. Sometimes cav, but we'll see. I was not a big fan of set 2, the element one. It was okay. Was not a big fan of a lot of it. I mean, that's because I liked summon, but it's bad. So now I've never gotten it. I'll pick it up on like carousel sometimes. That's where I'll see it the most. I almost never take it if it pops up in my shop or in the armory if I don't need it. And I think I've taken it from there once, and it was for an bomb spat. I was okay with rotated game modes. I was okay with from set 3. I liked some of the I like the aesthetic because I like cyberpunky stuff. I like project skins, and I like mechs. You guys know that about me. But I didn't love all the game modes. Good job. Yeah. So I'm liking this set a lot right now. Like last free groups. Well, they're adding more chase traits as well. So like I think Dragon Slayer is getting a 6 for like stupid numbers that are like, if you hit these with spats, you're just gonna like win. Which is fun. Your friends hate it. Oof. What is this? Oh well. Yes, Iagra mentioned a Necromancer in ESO. I don't know what it's like. Let me look. We can explore it. First impressions. I don't know, 9 minutes is a long video. I was gonna pull up a video of it real fast, but I don't need an hour-long Ultimate Necromancer class guide in ESO. I want an overview. That's a thing. Easier view or something, but their abilities all have necromantic flair. However, some abilities are also considered crimes if you do them in town, which would make sense sometimes. Okay, maybe we just grab the first impression view because it's just short. Oh, here, all skills preview. We'll check that out. Oops, that's what I wanted to do. Let me grab this. Boop.
In May of June, and just
landed
on the PTS.
ESO Necromancer.
Well, we'll probably be doing some builds for it when it reaches the live version of the game. In this video, I just kind of want to explore the skills and abilities and see and discuss, how they are and how this new class will perform. So the Necromancer class has 3 skills.
I am now realizing that this has been muted the whole
time.
Death.
Grave Lord is your DPS line,
Maybe.
Bone Tyrant is your tanking line, and Living Death is your healing line. The first ability in the Gravelord skill line is Frozen Colossus. This is very much like your other AoE ultimates, drops it into an area, does damage over time. However, it does provide major vulnerability to the enemies or players there, increasing the damage they take by 30%, which is just colossal, pardon the pun.
Making friends as an
increased
adult
damage that
sucks.
enemies are going to take is going to be huge in PvP and in fights where you have lots of enemies in PvE. Next up is Flame Skull. This is your single target spammable attack. It's not particularly amazing. I'm sure it'll see some use, but it's not real great. Blast Bones is an ability. It'll summon a skeleton from it after a couple of seconds, which will charge towards the nearest target, dealing AoE damage on detonation. The diseased version, or the stamina version of this, applies major defile to everyone hit, which is amazing for PvP, and the Magicka version of the morph will actually increase the damage based on the distance, making for a more damaging explosion. Boneyard is essentially Nova without the ultimate cost. It does roughly the same amount of damage over time, which also increases if you consume a corpse, and provides a synergy just like Nova that it does damage to everyone around. But it also heals you when it's done, and you can morph it in order to take a version where you can do the synergy yourself. So you can drop it, then bam, everyone around you for
Can you raise
10,000
corpses
damage,
for your
and
minions?
it's not even an ultimate. The Skeletal Mage ability has two functions, one to deal damage over time to enemies or an enemy, and two to create a corpse. This allows you to get a corpse to use for things like Blast Bones without having to have killed anything. So you're going to want to keep this up constantly so you can keep your corpse creation available. Shock Siphon is another ability that requires a corpse, and it's very powerful. It does damage between you and said corpse up to 28 meters, which is a very large stretch. So this could potentially damage lots of enemies, particularly in PvP, if you can manage to aim it at a back corpse behind a bunch of players. Reusable Parts removes the cost of certain spells after killing an enemy in 4 seconds, so that's very good. Death Knell gives you an execute essentially on any target with any ability once they fall below 25%, because you can get this critical strike chance up to about 20, 30, 40, 50% even, depending on what you have slotted on top of your critical chance already. So this means you're going to be doing like 1.5 to 1.7 times damage on just about every target under 25%. Dismember increases your spell and physical penetration while you have a Gravelord ability active. Since these are damage over time, that's going to be pretty much constantly if you're DPSing. And Rapid Rot increases your damage done with damage over time effects, which is what most of the abilities
going to help you become a Necromancer IRL?
Good.
Probably not.
I think the overall takeaway from this
video game skills usually don't apply in
has
IRL.
Damage over time,
contrary to what Sword Art Online would make you believe.
Bones, and it's very good in a group setting. It lacks that single target burst damage, and it's going to be very good supporting groups in raids or dungeons. And
I can't answer that question legally.
when you have a large group, it's going to sit in the back and cast these huge
Union code. Oh yeah, the Necromancer's Union, of course,
use the corpses from all the people dying to deal substantially powerful attacks, particularly Blast Bones charging in. They're doing up to 50% more damage based on the distance. In the Bone Tyrant skill line, Bone Goliath essentially just gives you health and allows you to take health back when attacking. So this is a good way to get through a very difficult phase of a boss, or when you're surrounded by a whole bunch of enemy players. It's going to keep you alive through some of the hardest things you'll face.
It reminds me of
you do
Diablo's
maintain your skills while in
Necromancer.
this form, so you're just basically growing larger into a Bone Goliath and using your abilities as normal. The Death Scythe is kind of an interesting ability. It deals damage and heals you for a first target hit. And it hits an enemy in front of you. Reminds me a bit of Puncturing Sweeps. It's dealing damage while it's healing you, but the heal is based off your max health, so this is something that a tank will use to deal increased damage to maybe groups of enemies during trash pulls, while it also heals itself. Bone Armor is basically your standard armor buff for any class, except it also creates a corpse when it ends, so every time you use it and it expires, you're going to get a corpse to be able to cast some of those corpse-only abilities or enhance some of the skills you have that can use a corpse. Bitter Harvest is a very unique ability because it has potential to seriously give you a lot of ultimate if you take the
Okay, I like it.
Morph.
But you're playing Diablo, I play Mass Effect.
Say you're in PvP.
Nice.
Your group wipes out like 3 people.
I enjoy Diablo.
And you gain
I really like playing
plus
Necromancer in it.
Ultimate you gain from killing them, and the ultimate you generally gain. You're going to be building ultimate very fast if you have this ability slotted in PvP, and possibly during trash pulls in PvE, although it's not super good there. Bone Totem is an AoE fear, which is just super fucking powerful. It's so broken. In addition, it also has a morph called Remote Totem that has a 28-meter range. This means if you're PvPing in Cyrodiil and you're up on a keep, so people are bashing your door down, you can literally fear all of them at once. Fear them under the oil, every single one, and oil is just going to murder them. And now fear also no longer makes enemies run.
Oops, why is Discord popping up there?
So you're going to root them right under that oil. And
Sorry.
Fear, and fear is one of the hardest CCs to break out of in the game.
That's okay. I was just looking at the Pokemon games that popped up. I'm like, interesting.
Another really good ability for a group is the Grave Grasp ability. This allows you to
it's because the display captures on.
essentially slow down enemies and also immobilize them with one of the morphs and put minor maim on them. So again, this is another very good group-oriented skill. Where you throw it into a group of enemies and you debuff all of them at once.
There we go.
Death Gleaning.
No, you missed Pokemon cartridge picks.
Magicka whenever an enemy dies that you attacked within 28 meters of you, which helps keep your resources.
My friend posted old
Sustain
Pokemon
harm,
cartridges that I wanted to look at.
From damage over time abilities while you have a Bone Tyrant ability active, which should be constantly. Health Avarice increases your healing received for each Bone Tyrant ability slotted, so this is going to be if you're tanking.
You slide it into something.
A lot more healing received.
Yeah, a Game Boy Color.
And Last Gasp increases your max health by 2,000, which is just
weirdos.
Flat. So every Necromancer is going to have 2,000 extra health, which is very, very good. So moving along to the Living Death skill line, Reanimate is super powerful in large battle PvP. It's probably not going to find too much of a home anywhere else, maybe Battlegrounds, possibly. But the Animate Blastbones morph is a game changer. Imagine you're fighting a big battle at a keep, you res 3 of your friends at once, and summon 3 Blastbones at once, and they all charge into the enemies and AoE, and probably killing.
See, now that's a cool necro
6 people
ability.
At once, while you picked up 3 people. It's extremely powerful, but only in that circumstance. Render Flesh is your standard healing ability. Debuffs you with Minor Defile when you use it, which isn't great, but it is a good instant heal, and it does heal more than one target with one of the morphs. Expunge is your cleansing ability. Now Templars are not the only class with a cleanse. They have a morph of it that also cleanses up Templars. Effects, much like one of the Templars morphs. So that's going to be very, very important in PvP, and possibly PvE if you're tanking. Life Amid Death is an AoE heal, but requires a corpse.
Any in-mass summoning as a Necromancer Beautiful is an army. Yes. My main is a Templar. Yeah, eat it, Iogre.
So you can AoE cleanse with this ability for much, much less than the Purge ability costs from the support skill line. So this is going to be really important again in PvP, particularly large-scale PvP, or maybe even small-scale when you want to cleanse several members of your group. I can't stress enough how powerful that will be in PvP. Spirit Mender is another very powerful ability. It's like regeneration. It heals you over time, so you're going to throw this up in regeneration to keep your health topped off if you're PvPing.
That's like
a particularly interesting
Guild War
thing
2's
about
Necromancer's
it is that
heal
it leaves
ability.
A corpse after you're done using it, so then you're free to use corpse abilities, which is great.
Like main game is Animal Crossing New Horizons still. Nice.
Seconds.
I have not played in a bit.
You'll be able to get corpses more often. And it'll heal
I mean,
more
it is an addicting and very enjoyable
seconds.
game. Yes, absolutely.
I think this one ability right here might turn the tide in PvP and solo and dual battles because of the fact you'll be able to put hots up on yourself, switch to your DPS bar, and just go to town while you're constantly being healed by Spirit Mender and regeneration. Restoring Tether is pretty much another AoE heal. It doesn't heal in an AoE per se, but it heals between a corpse and you for healing over time and to all allies. So it's also very powerful. Requires a corpse though. Does increase your healing done while slotted. You just have to have a corpse to use it. Curative Curse increases your healing done when you have a negative effect on you. Should be constantly in PvP, not so much in PvE probably. Would still be good to have for tanks because increased healing is always good there. Near-death experience increases your critical strike chance when healing in proportion to the target's wound, so you're more likely to critically heal.
10 friends are always happy to see me.
More.
That is both wholesome and an
you
oof
generate
at the
10
same
ultimates,
time.
so
I'm
you're
sorry.
You're going to be generating ultimate pretty fast with the Necromancer between that and the other ability I mentioned earlier. And Undead Confederate increases your Magicka and Stamina recovery by 300 while you have a Necromancer summon active. This is going to be pretty much constantly. So this is just, that's insane. You're basically going to have 300 Magicka and Stamina. On my character, on PTS right now, I have something like 2,500 Magicka recovery.
I've only played a bit of ESO, but that's pretty sweet.
1,200 Stamina recovery while I have this buff up, which is just insane.
Yeah, we played it the one time, and then
break free of every single time you
Iogre
need to,
found
and
us.
Never run out of resources. It's just so
that was
powerful.
a thing.
It's one of the best passives in the game.
Please, they will never leave me.
Looking over these
some of them can
abilities,
leave.
You can really see
you have to let
the
them
Magicka
know.
Version of a Necromancer is very, very much tailored to group play, whether it be trials or group PvP. It's going to excel in groups because of all the buffs that apply to groups, and because of all the attacks that are AoEs or in cone or straight line, or heals that are the same way. The stamina version will very much be the solo one-on-one type dueling PvP, because you need to get burst from somewhere, and the Magicka version just doesn't have a lot of burst.
Do you really think I let them?
From weapon
I
damage
don't.
abilities.
I don't.
When you couple that with some of these
They are
passives
mine
healing
now.
over time that the Necromancer has, I think
Thunderstrike's
these
the
guys are going
distance.
to be like Warden's 1.5 in terms
But
of
I feel that.
stamina
I feel
on
that.
PvP builds. Unfortunately,
Hey,
for those
there's a
who
raffle.
have
Don't
the
miss it. Don't
Necromancer,
miss it.
if you do have this expansion or you're planning on playing it, and you do like small scale PvP, I highly recommend trying out a Stamina Necromancer. So this is still a very early version of the Necromancer, but you can see already how powerful it's going to be. It has some of the best passes in the
ESO
game.
Necro looks pretty
It
cool.
has heals over
Not gonna lie.
time, which make it very, very effective in PvP. And it's going to be really, really good in a group.
I want more
I
like
think
just
probably
raise
the thing that it's
skeleton
lacking
minion
is
ability.
probably overall DPS,
right?
On single target.
That's like really all I
Particularly
need
if
out
you're
of a
playing
necromancer is
Magicka
like
build.
raise
But
skeletons.
it's so
from
powerful.
corpses.
I don't know what ZeniMax is going to do with it. When the Morrowind expansion came out, Wardens were very much overpowered at launch. Everyone knew. They didn't really do anything about it. I don't
Missing
know
my
why.
D&D players in
I
a couple
very
sessions.
much expect that Necromancer is going to be the same. I do think there'll be some tweaks here and there on PTS, and maybe it'll be a little less powerful.
Close
I
thing
think
I'll get
by
to a
the time
constant
it
minion as the
reaches
newest
live, it's
companion
still
system.
gonna be
Maybe
extremely
they'll add
powerful.
an
I highly
undead one
recommend,
eventually.
if it looks
Yeah.
interesting to you, which it does to me,
But that's like what Weaver and I
try
were
it out.
talking about
Go play
before,
Necromancer. It's
right?
gonna be
Where it's like what's it called? The longer a fight goes on, the more like summons you end up having because the more corpses there were. So like I want to be able to like, oh, a thing dies, it left a corpse, raise skeleton from corpse, skeleton goes and fights. And like you just keep doing that, right? While you backline. That's the necro I want. They're like, if you do it right, you have an undead legion. However, that doesn't work in MMOs. It just doesn't for multiple reasons. It barely works in RPGs. It's a super exploitable system. It's like heavy processing system. I would imagine it to be some kind of war game. Yeah, well, I mean, D&D won't even let you do that. Like, you can't even do that in 5th edition. Like, it takes a full minute to cast Raised Dead in 5th edition. Diablo 2 was about as close as I ever saw that. Yes. Yeah, I think so. I want to say Gauntlet has a thing kind of like it, but you end up capping out too. Right. And I mean, it has to. It has to. Because you can't balance a game when that's a thing you can do. And you have a limit how many times you can cast it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I would love for like even just 5th edition D&D, like a Raised Dead, you cast as like a one action, and the summon is just like obedient to you for 1 minute. And then afterwards you have to like retain control of it or something, or be able to retain control. So then you can have a ton of them, but once the combat's done, you've got to figure out how to deal with the crap that you just raised. And then again, that kind of, it's a problem. I mean, summons on D&D is a problem in and by itself, because they take up so much extra time at the table. But yeah. It's okay. One day Necros will get to be a cool thing. Just want to be evil. I mean, I am evil. No, I want to have an infinite army of minions. Yes. They can't disobey me, and they I expect nothing of them, so they can't disappoint me either. Infinite army of minions. Thus you became a streamer. He's on to me, guys. I'm just kidding, no. If I wanted an infinite army of minions on Twitch, I'd put a lot more effort into growing this channel. And by more effort, I mean more than 0. Have I seen Sweet Tooth or Jupiter's Legacy? I have seen Jupiter's Legacy. Yes. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I heard Netflix dropped it, so they're not doing a season 2. It's based on books, so I might just have to read the books. I'm a sucker for superhero shows. Not to spoil anything, so I won't go too deep into the show itself. But I did enjoy it. I like the darker realism, like gritty, that we get from Jupiter's Legacy and like The Boys. Although Jupiter's Legacy is not nearly as dark and gritty as The Boys. Of like superhero society that we get glimpses of in Marvel's universe, but like Marvel can't do that on their movies. They just can't. That's not how that works. That I enjoy. I have not watched Sweet Tooth yet, but it's on my list of things to watch. It is. I didn't even look at it when it popped up the first time, but then the trailer popped up on Netflix. I'm like, oh, that's actually interesting. So I will probably watch it at some point. I'll let you know when I do. Also, to have more minions on Twitch, you need more cleavage. Well, yes and no. They're the wrong type of minions I want. Sure, they can be minions. Yeah, those people can be minions. They're not the minions I necessarily want to have, though. Kissing the Missions of the Machines was a lot better than I expected. I have not yet. Again, it's one of those things like on my list that I keep like I'll watch at some point when I'm like looking for something to put on, and it's probably one of those things that I'll put on as like background noise, and then I'll end up actually watching. I do that a lot. I did see Cruella though. Cruella was really good, actually. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like Cruella at all, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. What else did I watch recently? I watched that new Jason Statham movie recently, and that was enjoyable as well. That was fun. I mean, it was just a high octane action thriller with a little mystery, like a little like light mystery that kept you guessing as to what's actually going on. That was fun. It did exactly what it was supposed to. It was a fun action movie. There is a low bar for action movies to be good, and it's as long as they are entertaining, they're usually good. That's why you know my which two characters from the movie and they're my favorite if you know me well. Oh, I bet. Ooh, hey, new raffle. Oh, I bet, Weaver. I bet. I've been reading Overlord's web novel recently because I've caught up on all the other things I've been reading. So I picked that up. That and I just really like the Overlord anime, which I think you've watched, Weaver, and if you haven't, you should. I believe we've talked about this because there's a cool undead in that is thoroughly enjoyable. And I started reading the web novel from the beginning, or the light novel version of it, not the web novel version of it. Because they do some more world building that I wanted to get into and I wanted to read. That I've been having a good time. That's on my list. I'm reading that. I'm reading Demon Emperor. I'm reading Overgeared. I'm reading The Time I Got Reincarnated in the Slime. I'm waiting for the next piece to come out. Next light novel piece. Or the next volume, I think is what it's called. And then I'm reading a ton of manga. Always good there. A ton of manga and manhwa, but Eric gave me 1,000,000 plat when I was like randomly rouletting things to show that off. So I haven't gotten around to the web light novel because I have been rereading the Spider Reincarnation Esekai to celebrate getting it right. Nice. I need to watch that. It's on my list. I've heard good things about it. I kind of put it off the first time because I'm like, this is a little too silly for me. And then I was saying that to my friend, and they go, "You love the slime one. Why not the spider one?" I'm like, you make a very fair point, and I should give the spider one a fair shot. Yeah. Okay, all I'm saying is slime is just like more approachable than spiders, but I will give it a fair shot. I will watch it at some point. I mean, I'm loving My Hero Academia right now, and I feel like I want to like read it and like read ahead. What else I'm watching right now? There's 86 is. I like the beginning of 86 more than I like where we are right now. in 86. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the plot conflict that I was liking of it feels like it's kind of just been like put to the side, and there's a lot of stuff that's like happened really quickly that I'm like, why? Okay. But cool mech combat, high stakes, interesting world. So I'm still enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, still enjoying it. I'm just not liking it as much as I liked it in like the first 3-4 episodes. And then I am also watching my guilty pleasure, Iruma, like at the Demon Academy, which is just a ridiculously silly, like light heart and weirdly enjoyable slice of life anime that I didn't think I was gonna like, but I gave it the 3 episode, and I'm like, okay, this is like so over the top, like ridiculous, that it's back into like fun again. But yeah, I will watch Spider Isekai at some point. I will. I just have to get to the point where I'm like, yes, I want to watch something new today, which happens occasionally. It does. Ooh. Anime gets too silly. Try a light novel translation. The anime, from what I've seen, takes itself much less seriously than the original did. Yeah, I mean that's fair. I'll probably I will probably like it if there's an interesting world and an interesting story to it. I will probably like it. My problem is that I binge. If there isn't enough to binge, I get frustrated because of one more. I also feel that I am a big binger when it comes to media. And then I want more, which is where I end up reading like mangas and light novels a lot, because I'm like, I finished it, I want more. Like Overlord. When did the last Overlord season come out? Let me check. When was the last episode of Overlord? 2018. The last aired October of 2018, beginning of October. So like it's been a while, and I thoroughly enjoyed that show because I like the world building. I like the cool lich. I like Ainzul Gong as the organization and the person. And I like a lot of the just world building in general, right? And I'm like, I don't know why it took me so long to just find and read the light novel, but here we are now. Because I wanted more. But then I binge through things, then I have nothing to watch, and I'm like, now I'm sad. And then I go looking for things. Sometimes I find stuff. Not always. Sometimes. I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly. It just is. But yeah. I think maybe tomorrow we'll finish your Raven Gundam, or we'll try to. We got to build the armor for it still, which will be fun, and we can play with the transformation mechanics, which I think it's a part form, but it should be fun. We finished Core Gundam last time for it, and then I have the two Masquerades and Marcosius from IBO that need to be built. And then I've pre-ordered Virtue and Nodley's Master Grade and Gremory, which is just a suit from one of the spin-offs from Iron-Blooded Orphans that I really enjoyed. It's a really cool, really edgy suit. It's just a real lots of fun. And I love the Iron-Blooded Orphan suits, so it's gonna be great. I've been enjoying building on streams. We'll build more on stream. It's just like, that one's a process, because I've got to like set up Discording myself to use like a second camera, right? Do the Gundams have a really small character in them? Yes, the Master Grades do. They come with 2 really small characters, one that's sitting, and the other one that's a little like standing figure for scale. The Master Grades usually, well, I should say the Master Grades with cockpits have sitting ones. If they don't have an opening cockpit, I don't think they have a sitting one. Most of them do. The Master Grades are the 1/100th scale that are like yay big. So really, he's gotten a new great manga from. Ooh, what is it? What is it? But yeah, I haven't painted any of the small things. I haven't painted any of my Gunpla, actually, any of my Gundams. I just usually scratch build. I've panel lined one of them, and I haven't water decaled any of them either. I just like building and having them. On some level, I want to like customize them and stuff, but that's a lot of work. I want a 3D printer so that I could like 3D print pieces for them, but I don't think we're quite there on the resolution scale yet. You gotta love some of the manga and like light novel names are like stupid long. What is this? Oh, trapped in a dating sim. Oh dear. That's fun. That's fun. Trapped in games is an interesting genre. I find it is very, at least for me, is very hit or miss. Basically, a guy dies after finishing an ultimate game for his terrible sister, but the world is surprisingly hostile. Fun. I mean, I won't judge on the fact that I'm not a dating game person, because I actually really enjoyed what's that anime? My Life as a Villainess, right? My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that slice of life, weird, trapped in like a dating sim anime, like a reverse harem style anime that I like actually enjoyed. Dating has a surprising little amount to do so far. I mean, that's usually how it is in the like trapped in a dating sim stories. But I don't know. I've really only seen 2 of them so far, and I only really liked one for sure. Aha, a raffle. Do it. Do the thing. Get in. But yeah. Get those points. Do I want to do anything particular today? Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed just chatting. I'm just like looking like I just don't feel like I want to do things. I just don't feel the desire to do. I just feel the desire to veg. I feel the desire to eat ice cream, which I don't have. I don't need ice cream though. Just want to kind of veg. I need to actually catch up on the Bad Batch. I haven't watched the most recent episode of the Bad Batch either. Get naked? No. Get ice cream. What? I'm sorry, I can't say I ever really have that desire. Nope. It's never really a thing that's like, oh yes, I want to get naked right now. Never really a thing that passes my mind. Nope. Can't say that's a thing that pops up. I don't even have any like games installed right now that I'm like, yeah, I could play this on stream right now. I mean, I guess I do. I could play like Magic or something. I just like I finished my Magic tour, so I don't feel like I need to play Magic. Evil Genius 2 is fun. I enjoyed that. I think I haven't played it since a lot of their since all the patches came through. I played it like when it released, and I think the some of the patches for quality of life things are really gonna make me return to the game and play more of it. I finished Resident Evil Village. That was terrifying. I'm a massive weenie. It's not even that scary of a game, and yet it still got to me literally every time. Like I just like, this is too much for me. Giant weenie. I can watch people play it, not a problem. But playing the horror games like myself is where I'm like, ooh, yeah. I don't know. Weenie mode activated. Boob lady dies too early. Yeah, Dami Mommy does die pretty early into the game. You do kill her pretty early. Well, I should say she's the first of the lords that you kill. Although her taking over the internet was hilarious. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, she's not really my type, but the way that she swept through the internet and people very quickly made a ton of mods to the game towards her, hilarious. Then Samsung Sam happened. This is also true. Samsung Sam has also swept through the internet like a storm. I mean, the internet's just like super down bad. Just super down bad. Which we know. We all know this. This is just like fact. It's just hilarious every time. Who is Samsung Sam? Who is Samsung Sam? Let me find safe pictures. Very carefully Google this. Why are you not updating? Wait, why is this not updating? Why is the Firefox window not updating? Okay. Where are you, window? I'll fix you. There we go. That's Samsung Sam. Samsung made like a virtual character. This is Samsung Sam. Get chicken sandwich? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Which is why I had to be very careful Googling this, because the internet. But yeah. Samsung Sam. Her jaw is the only problem you have. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. It is very like Pixar, Disney mom, sharp pointed. Ooh. But yeah, that is Samsung Sam. And now we're going to leave Samsung Sam up for a bit. Well done, Samsung. You strike with the advertising. It worked. We're talking about it. Like what Japanese girls... Yes. Yes, it is what Japanese Korean girls strive to look like with all those filters and things. Yeah. That beauty standard. Absolutely. I have seen the Chinese face trend. Not my thing, personally, but I have seen it. Yes. I have indeed. I don't need all these things open again. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is. Yes. Yes, it is. But, I mean, beauty standards in different cultures are strange. Seen the truck hunt trend? Yes. Yes, I have. And that one's that's all I have to say about it. It's strange. Yeah, it's that's a whole thing. I mean, the internet's just a weird place. We all agree on that. It just is. But it's also a wonderful place. We got all kinds of weird things. Orcs are more about the size of the duck. That is one of the beauty standards I have for orcs in my world, yes. Orcs also orcs still value strength in my world. Strength is a major thing. But tusk size and tusk in general is a big beauty standard for orcs. Yep. Whereas the humans in my world are very Bridgerton with their beauty standards. I try to give different cultures different beauty standards, but we don't harp on it. Very Bridgerton. Very like Enlightenment to Victorian era Europe. Yes, Bridgerton. So I think Sam was like, so wait, is like noble society like what they show in Bridgerton? I'm like, yes, exactly. That's a better way to describe it. And she's like, oh dear. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you black sheep did hard. Speaking of Snapchat from Sam, what now? What's she doing? Oh, Doggo. Hi, Doggo. I was like, oh no, is she gonna yell at me because I'm talking about her? It's fine. Can't go into a plaster to make your head that tiny. I mean, true. Not as racist, but yes, I mean, yeah, that looks like a good D&D beauty standard. I personally think racism is just like not a useful thing. I know it is a thing that has existed and still exists, right? But I see no point of putting it in my world for D&D purposes. Standard even. Sorry, body, I'm eating some teacher best. This is true. You're super, especially with fashion. I had a couple friends in a university who did all kinds of historical fashion stuff. Both were like product design. I guess one was like really fashion product design, but the other one curated this incredible exhibit of like historical fashion that I went to once for the opening to support her. But I can't say historical women's fashion is my thing, but it was a really well put together exhibit. I'm more of a like historical weapons because shiny pointy objects, but hey, nothing wrong with it. You guys know how I am about things. I'm not going to knock you for your interests as long as your interests don't hurt anybody else. I like what I like, you like what you like. That's just how the world works. And if we all accepted that, we'd be a much better position. Yep. Do I want to like actually do anything today? I don't know, I'm so sleepy. But hurting people is my interest, and now it's a problem. Bad Weavy boy. Bad. No. My philosophy, as long as it harms none and exploits none, including yourself, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As long as the decisions that you're making do not harm other people, I don't care what they are. Well, that's why I usually say harm and not hurt. Because yes, sometimes hurting people can be consensual, but harming people never is. Even in there are situations, causing actual harm is not the goal. And if it is, bad. I will shame that one. Yes. As we said before, we don't kink shame here, but if you go saying your kink is murder, I'ma shame you. Find a new one. But yeah. Does it say bodily harm? Maybe, but there is a fine line there. Can't just change your kink, sir. If your kink is actually harming other people, you better. I get off by having someone watch as I reconfigure their internal organs and artwork on the wall. That you should change that. You should do whatever it takes to change that weird specific part. Yes. I mean, at that point, it's not a kink. It's not a kink. You're just a dick, or a bad person, or a sociopath. How to film with a kink in an RP.
I did type, damn it.
Oh dear.
Miss_Jawbreaker, you do collect Gundam.
I do.
Miss_Jawbreaker, 4 a.m. here soon. XD, I'm not crazy. Miss_Jawbreaker, hat is sus ASF. Miss_Jawbreaker, we going fancy?
Guys, very much a sociopath. Yeah, I feel that. I see that. Yeah, no unconsensual harm. No, like, real bodily harm. No, like, lasting bodily harm. Nope, I can't support that. But there you go. Oh, and a little raffle sneaks its way into Miss Jawbreaker's spiel. I do click on... I could grab, I think, Freedom 2.0's within reach. And some of the other small master grades that I've gotten in, like, the last 2 years are within reach. That I could go and grab. So I still need to, like, go through all the clothing in my closet over there and, like, get rid of them. And you guys got some good recommendation for anime, though. My Hero Academia, if you're not watching it, Weaver, I thoroughly enjoy.
Iagra, action waggles eyebrows.
For the read online.
Iagra,
One Piece,
a
read
sexy
One Piece.
orc anime. Orcs need a help number, Passion.
There you go.
I know that you can add a layer with the nudists. Iagra, completely healthy.
What?
Iagra, we had a low dex score. Iagra, I had nothing.
LOL, what? Yeah, I don't know, Iagra. LOL, what? What are you teaching my bot? Or other manga you prefer to read online. I'm reading Dr. Stone, and Dr. Stone's a good read. I'm reading Black Clover. I want to start reading My Hero Academia soon, I think. I mean, I'm reading Black Clover because Black Clover, I think, ended for now and is getting a movie at some point. So I've been reading it. Demon Slayer's a good read. Also, Mugen Train was great. Fantastic representation of that arc. Sorry, Weaver. Mods can do it. Here, I'll do it for you. Oh, it's because you're not Weaver Reaver. You're just Weaver.
Weaver 42,
There we go.
R.I.P.
Rip. No.
Weaver 42, adult realistic Pokemon Poggersuwu. Weaver 42, I will make you suffer. Check your DMS.
He did.
Weaver
He did
42, BRB getting coke. Weaver
Don't do drugs,
42,
Weaver.
I will have no land, I will talk to them. Try to check the Pokemon game more, a necromancy game, you kill the things you want to do it for.
It could be a soda. It better be a soda, Weaver. Or you should at least share with the class. But yeah. Reading things. I mean, I love Overgeared. I always recommend Overgeared. Padding, jumping to conclusions. Tisk. I mean, both the web novel or light novel and the what's it called? Actual manga for it are great. I've been enjoying Taming Master. That's a fun one. Solo Leveling, if you haven't read it, I love it. I do. I love it. It's great. The art's great. I've also really been enjoying what's it called? Tomb Raider King. That's pretty good. I know that the light novel ended and I want to read that. But I've been reading the manga for it, or the manhwa for it, but it goes back and forth based on who's currently translating it. It's always kind of in a limbo spot. What am I reading right now? Oh, man, I'm always reading One Piece. I love One Piece. You should read One Piece. One Piece is good. There's a skeleton. And kind of a necromancer guy. He's a villain, of course. I mean, necromancers make good villains. Usually make better villains than heroes. Usually. I can think of a couple exceptions for that. I really want to recommend it because I really enjoyed it. Kill the Hero. The main character is a necromancer. He is a hero. He has some really OP necromancer powers at the end. Where he's like raising huge armies. Yes, Kill the Hero. I'll find it. I'll find it for you. Here. Well, I wasn't thinking about it because I finished reading the light novel for it. And I haven't been keeping up with the manga because I read the light novel because I really liked it, wanted to get ahead of it. And my problem is I don't love the ending. Okay? However, it is really good. And cool necromancer powers that I think you will enjoy. I don't think it's going to give you a link to read it, per se, but it'll help you find it. The ending's not, I don't know if I'd call it bad. I just felt lacking in it. A lot of things were left open-ended and resolved, like question-wise, because there's some interesting world-building stuff going on, and then he finishes like his plot and his story, and that's kind of like it for the main character. I'm like, but the mystery over here, we didn't solve it, and I felt lacking for that. So it's not my favorite ending. I felt kind of let down by the ending. Although the story overall is good. The power ability is awesome. World building, pretty cool. Lots of really interesting stuff. Handful of interesting characters besides the main character. And I do like it. I would recommend it to you. Yeah. Like on the scale of bad endings, I would not put it on the Game of Thrones side of things. Somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Speaking of necromancer stories, I'm actually thinking of writing my own eventually, now that I remember it. Do it. Did you continue writing the last one you were doing? I have that bookmarked somewhere. I'll have to find it. I'll have to stalk it again. Oh god, I need to clean my bookmarks are way too long. Way too long. Oh, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is also really good. I think Webtoon picked it up as a webtoon to do. I read the light novel for it. Really good. He's not a necromancer, but still really good. I do need to book my sword. I do need to sort my bookmarks. Words are hard. I'm not mostly because every inconvenient thing that could happen happened to me. Yep. Fully understand that. Yep. I have been enjoying Magic Emperor. It's a little clunky, but it's fun. I've been reading Survival Story of a Sword King in a Fantasy World, which is also fun. I haven't been paying attention to what Returner's Magic should be special. I don't know if that is continuing after its hiatus or not. It's just another reincarnated one. He comes back in the past with knowledge of the apocalypse in the future. Now he's trying to change it. Yes, Sword King's the one where the guy was stuck under level 5 with some error in the system. And now his stats are way too high and he surprises everybody, but he can't do things because level requirements. I weirdly enjoy it. Yes. I love that one so far. Yes, it's just weird and fun. And I've been having a good time with it. Yes. That is survival story of a sword king in a fantasy world. The world building in that is just really fun. I thoroughly enjoy the world building. I think some of the weird fan service and stuff with like a tease I don't need. There is a male character who is, I guess, spoilers at this point for this story if you're going to read it, is a dragon. And they are constantly cross-dressing him because he has a very feminine appearance, like literally every opportunity. And I'm like, okay, you're just doing it to do it right now. I'm like, there was like one point where it was like a thing they did to like to go disguise. I'm like, why? It's every opportunity possible. You were addressing this guy as a girl, not, and the thing is, it's not that the character doesn't want to do it. Other characters make the character do it, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't need it. It's weird, but it's fine. It's just like weirdly silly. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing in like, I want to say it's Korean. I want to say Survival Story of a Sword King is Korean. Could be Chinese. Yeah, I mean, for sure, Weaver. Yeah, it's Korean. So like, I don't know, maybe that's more of a thing in that society or for that author. I mean, fine. I'm just like, it's not a thing for I don't like fan service just in general usually. That usually breaks my like enjoyment and immersion of whatever media it may be. It's why I get turned off pretty heavily by most like harem animes, even animes that like are something else but are harem-y. I'm like, okay, I don't need this. I'm like, can we fast forward? Can we fast forward back to the cool world building? So you don't like JoJo? I like JoJo because the world building and the stuff outweighs any fan service. And I don't even know if it's like fan service. It's just a bunch of weird shit. JoJo's just weird. JoJo's not harem-y. JoJo's just silly. And for the longest time, I did not watch JoJo because I looked at it. I'm like, this looks too silly and weird for me. And then I gave it a shot. And I'm like, okay, this is fun. I like stands as a power system. You don't see the fan service? Are you kidding? If you're calling JoJo fan service, you don't know fan service. All the men are half naked. That's not the same. I mean, it's half naked guys because Araki couldn't draw people, so everything he drew was tracing male model like drawings versus that becoming the style versus like weird interruptions in the story for maid outfits and like partial upskirt shots and like weird like, oh, this character really loves this character thing. Too much. No. That does not explain the outfits. That is exactly the reason for the outfits, because it's like weird niche male model outfits. Have you seen what gets put on runways? Those outfits are ridiculous. That's how it started, and then it became his style after that. Yeah. And no, I do not consider half-naked characters of any capacity to be necessarily fan service. That's pretty present in most cultures and like just media, and then most things. It needs to be a little beyond that to be fans, like real fan service. It's a half-naked sex workers are perfectly fine. Yeah. there are a ton of other things that I'm like, way too much fan service ruins that moment for me, or whatever like is going on that show. You need to have like a lot of other things to bring it back for me. Like, I can't think of any poignant fan service in Hunter x Hunter, but I could basically excuse any fan service that Hunter x Hunter did because I love the world enough. Miss Jawbreaker, I don't care. Still need to recreate a workflow for ESO captures. This person now that changed to dimension yourself. There you go. Yeah. Dan will have plenty of half naked sexy looks. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah. No. The JoJo world is, and Power System Enough is, I can get over most of that stuff. And it's not the focal point of the show. There are other shows where like all it is fan service. I'm like, I can't watch this. Right? I can't. Nope. Mm-hmm. But yeah. JoJo's good. I need to read Stone Ocean. I haven't yet. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm reading so many other things currently. Although I did get an anime announced, so that's gonna be sweet. Let me see. What else is on my reading list? Weaver, I think you'd like Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. It's a lot. It's a lot. No, Iagra! No, you lost all. That's okay. But everything's good so far. I really enjoyed the story. Well, nighty night all. Good night, Iagra. It just like how he isn't the OP protagonist, but someone else's. Yes, that's really fun. I mean, he kind of becomes one towards the end, but like all protagonists kind of have to become that towards the end of like an action story. But at least he isn't the whole way through, and he like earns it. And I guess even at the end, he isn't really OP. Like there are some really OP things in that world. And he never really reaches that pinnacle. But I can't spoil the end because the end is really interesting. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think, who was it? Somebody who had joined our stream more recently. And I geeked out over Omniscient Ranger's Viewpoint for a little bit. Because finding other people who read it's always really fun. Who was that? I'll know when I see their username. I just don't remember who it was. I like when I see people's usernames, I remember things that I like had committed to memory about them, or like fun interactions I had, but I couldn't like do it the other direction, right? I couldn't pull it from who did I have the interaction with this thing? Usually, I have to go the other way around. But yeah. I'm just like going through like bookmarks of stories and things that I'm reading. I was looking at One Piece, Demon Slayer. I like Return of Magic Super Special. I just don't know the state of it, and I don't know who is publishing it currently. So I couldn't even tell you where to go look for it. He is the kind of OP protag, but it's the genre of they came back from the future, so they have more information, so that's how they're OP. Which I can take a little more than hard plot armor OP protagonist, right? Like while I really want to like Sword Art Online, and like I liked season 1, even though I do still think it was overhyped. I don't think it was bad. I enjoyed it. Like overall, because I was fascinated with the world and like the power set and stuff. Kirito is definitely the OP protagonist. There is the plot armor protag that he is undeniable. Although I really like Alicization because I'm an AI diet, which makes me want to get back into AI research, but it's a lot of work right now, and have not been feeling further programming research after like already working and stuff. That's my problem. Work drains all that desire out of me usually. But yeah. Man, I'm like really tired today. I was up until like 2 last night just talking about D&D. I always prefer weak pro tags, just the idea of someone overcoming a possible power for enemy is fun. Yes. Yeah. I am totally down if they've earned the OP status in some way through the story, right? Starting OP, it is harder to sell me and to win me over on starting out OP. Like you need a fun story for that. I'm trying to think of good examples of something like that. I weirdly enjoyed the Irregular, the Demon Academy. And I mean, I enjoy Irregular at the Magic Academy as well. I mean, Irregular at the Demon Academy has a super long title beyond that. But I like Irregular at the Magic Academy as well. And he's an OP protagonist by a lot. But I just love their magic system. So I'm usually down on that. And I can get past the weird SysCon fan service in that one, which is not my thing either. That's one of the ones that like that almost pushed me out of that show and that story. But I stayed for the dope ass magic system, the magic as technology system, or I should say technology as magic system is like easy to get me to watch something like that. Super. I'm down. Literal programming is magic. Oh, but yeah. Oh, I don't know. I've just been really tired lately and really like not motivated to do stuff. If true equals delete the universe. Okay, maybe we need to put some restrictions on the magic or the technologies of magic system. maybe just a couple restrictions, just a few. Like not that. No drop table of people. But yeah. I mean, it just be like that sometimes. But yeah. Click, close all these windows that I've ended up. Ooh, no. New raffle. Go ahead, get on in. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to do something? Do I just want to go like, I'm so tired. I just want to go like, now I just want to go and read. Right, like I've got Overlord I can keep reading. But I'm hanging out here right now and I'm trying to figure out, am I tired enough to wrap up? Do I want to do more things? I know I had no plan today. I was just here to talk, just chat. Cause like I haven't streamed Saturday in a hot minute because things keep popping up where I keep feeling like crap and not wanting to run Jackbox, so then I haven't streamed Saturday. But I could always just, not stream Jackbox. That's allowed. I don't have to stream Jackbox. I know. But it's like the whole like talking in Discords I'm not usually a part of thing where like I feel like I've like somehow like socially obligated myself to do it, and that's not actually true, and so I don't. But it's fine. No, I might wrap up. I'm like really tired and my headache's coming back, so short stream is better than no stream. But yeah, let's do that then. to carry stuff. Then we can find something, maybe play on Saturday. Yeah, which is like, I could just save my Magic the Gathering chores and we could just do that Saturday evening. Like that's a thing, right? I could just do my Genshin chores Saturday evening. I just tend to do them in the morning, right before I watch my anime. And we could do other stuff too. I could always react Andy. That's an option, right? I could build more Gundams. We could do more art. We could do more D&D things. I can make more D&D maps. Like, there's tons of productive things I could be doing. There are also fun, like, chill things I could be doing. I just have no plan. Night. Good night, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go wrap up, get some more water. 4 a.m. now. Good morning, Miss Jawbreaker. Good night. But yeah. I'm wrap up now. We'll be back tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. Eastern is the plan. If I change it, I'll let you guys know. I'll post in Discord before, like an hour before I stream too, and just remind everybody that we will be streaming. Current plan: hang out, build a Gundam, work on that. Always a good time. That was great last time. Super zen, super chill. I enjoyed it. But for now, go drink some water, go to bed, chill. Have a good evening. I'm going to wrap up here. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out and just, chatting with me about stuff. Whether you won, lost, laughed, cried, followed, subscribed, I hope you had a good time. I hope you come back and have more good times again tomorrow, 7:30, right here for Gundams. And I'll catch you guys then.